Welcome back to my channel. My name's Jody Middendorf and I make videos about the outdoors. Today I'm talking about one of my favorite places, Grand Marais, Minnesota. Grand Marais is an artsy village, small town on the northern shore of Lake Superior up in northern Minnesota. I'm here to tell you 8 things that you can do on your next trip to Grand Marais. The first thing on the list is to check out the local art. Of course, it's an art village. There are so many options and different ways that you can really get involved in the art in Grand Marais, Minnesota. You can visit the galleries. There's a local potter, there's a local jewelry maker. There's so much going on in the art scene in Grand Marais. If you walk around town, you will see art on garbage cans, you will see art on the buildings, you'll see art on the walking paths. You can also take a class at the Northhouse Folk School to make your own items as well. The next thing on the list is to check out Artist Point and the Lighthouse. If you've ever been to Grand Marais before, I'm sure you probably at least heard about this. You can walk out in the harbor onto a little bit of a peninsula that stretches out into Lake Superior, and that's called Artist Point. There are trees, rocks, and little walking paths that you can. When you're at the harbor, you can also go out the opposite direction of Artist Point and you can check out the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a key feature. It's beautiful and a lot of artists use it in their art about Grand Marais. You can go all the way out to the lighthouse following this little path made of cement. My favorite time to go to Artist Point and the lighthouse is sunset. In fact, each evening, and oftentimes in the morning as well, the parking lot at the harbor fills up with vehicles as people come to watch the sunrise and the sunset over Lake Superior. If you're there at sunset, you can see the sun set just beyond the Sawtooth Mountains. The next thing you can do in Grand Marais, Minnesota is to walk along the Lakeshore. A lot of people like to check out the rocks. There are lots of pretty ones. A lot of the rocks are rounded and they're red, orange, gray, white, different colored rocks mixed in together. Instead of your typical sandy beach along many lakes, rivers, and the ocean, Grand Marais has really pretty pebbles. Some people like to go swimming when they're visiting the lakeshore, but the water's cold year-round. If you're looking for warmer water, the next thing you can do is to head up the Gunflint Trail. The Gunflint Trail is a road that goes from Grand Marais, Minnesota off into the wilderness of northern Minnesota. Not along Lake Superior, but a different direction away from the lake. The Gunflint Trail has a few different food options if you're looking to have a meal off of the shore. It's a little bit warmer in the summertime, typically up the Gunflint Trail, than it is in Grand Marais. So if you're having some chilly weather and you wanted warm weather, you can try to head up the Gunflint Trail and see what's going on up there. There are lodges, there are different hiking trails, there's the Chickawauk Museum you can check out, lots of things to do. A lot of people like to drive up the Gunflint Trail to look for moose, bear, fox, different animals, but make sure to drive slow because a lot of these animals just will come right out onto the road and you don't want to, hurt them. I love the Gunflint Trail, so if you're going to Grand Marais, definitely check out the Gunflint Trail. If you're going to stay in Grand Marais for the day, you can get out onto Lake Superior on a nice, calm day when the lake isn't super wavy, and you can do kayak tours, canoe tours, stand-up paddleboard tours. It's awesome when you have a nice calm day in the summer on Lake Superior, so you can get out and do those things. Near to Grand Marais is Cascade State Park. Cascade State Park is just before you get to Grand Marais if you're driving from Duluth. Cascade is not too far from Grand Marais. You can park along 61 and kind of hike up and check out a waterfall, or you can go up the road and actually go and park in the state park area, and you can hike a bunch of trails. There are lookouts, there are waterfall cascades, that's what it got its name for, of the river flowing down into Lake Superior. Another thing that you can do in Grand Marais is go gift shopping. I know when I go to new places or places that are just really pretty, I love to check out the gift shops because they often have a lot of art and little crafts from local people as well that don't have their whole own gallery in town. So you can buy local cool items. They oftentimes have really nice, cute Grand Marais themed items, a lot of Lake Superior themed items. There is a fudge shop. Stone Harbor is not only a place where you can go on tours on Lake Superior, you can also go in there and check out their gift shop and store items as well. There's an antique store in Grand Marais, and there are just multiple little shops that you can kind of check out. It's one of those downtowns that you walk around and you just want to go in every door and check and see what's going on in there. And there's lots of cool things that you can find. And at the end of the day, when you're finished with all of your other Grand Marais activities, if you want to relax and you're an adult over the age of 21, you can go to the brewery and get some local craft beer, great stuff. And then after that, you can head to the Gunflint Tavern, which is a restaurant, but it also has a bar. The spot at Gunflint Tavern is if you go to the rooftop bar, it's called the Raven's Nest. They have seating where you can drink and hang out with friends and look over Lake Superior in the evening as the sun sets and the moon rises. That's the best place to be. And if you didn't hear already about my Patreon, I have a Patreon where you can join. It's $5 a month for the membership. What I do with the Patreon money is I put it towards gear so I can do gear reviews for my channel. This money would go to buying the items for the reviews. Once I do the gear reviews, test it out, let you know how everything is, I'm going to be giving all of the gear back to the Patreon members. I do have a limited amount of spots that are going to be available through my Patreon. Once I reach the maximum, then I will not be accepting more Patreon members, and I will only be giving the giveaways to the people in that group, so we can kind of keep it a fun, small, tight-knit community. I plan to do meetups, I plan to do lots of giveaways. My channel is going to continue growing, and this group of people are going to be like the core group. And I hope that you want to join that. If you don't want to, just continue watching my videos. Cool, that's great. If you do want to be a part of it, the link to my Patreon is in the description, and there's a little bit more information there. I hope your trip to Grand Marais is awesome. I am excited. Maybe we'll run into each other up there. I spend a lot of time there. And one bonus thing you can do when you're in Grand Marais, Minnesota is you can go to Best Western and say hi to Katriana.